Toad the brake van was feeling sad. Everywhere he looked, he could see engines having fun with their best friends. And Toad had no one. He was still thinking about him missing Oliver. Toad tried to tell stories about him and Oliver, but engines just ignored him. And soon, the engines were getting annoyed with this. No one cares about your stories or this Oliver guy. Listen, he's probably scrap already, so do us a favor and grow up. No one gives a shit. And this made Toad even more sad. Toad decided to talk to Duck, who was also Great Western. What's the matter, Toad? You seem sad. Is something going on? Yes, Oliver. No one cares what I say. They just call me silly and say I need to grow up. That's rubbish. They just don't understand how much it hurts to lose a best friend. I know, and I fear he might be scrapped. Don't worry. All the stories you told me, Oliver will be a hard one to be scrapped. But Toad didn't think so. Soon, the big engines decided enough was enough, and they decided to ban him from the shunting yards and have him only be taken to the branch lines only. The others felt sad for Toad, and they wanted to make him feel better. It's okay, Toad, unless you have us. Toad said nothing. Don't listen to those big engines. They don't understand anything. You know, if it helps you make you feel better, can you tell us a story about Oliver? Toad smiled. He could see that his friends still care about him. There's a lot of stories about him and I don't know which one to choose. Tell them the story how you two met. Oh yeah, I forgot Mrs. Lay used to work on the Great Western with me and Oliver. The three engines paid attention as Toad told the story. Well, it started a long time ago. It wasn't a big railway, or was it a small railway? There were two engines who worked on the railway. There was Lady and Oliver. Lady took the passengers, and Oliver did shunting, pulling passenger trains, and goods trains. And this was the Great Western Railway. Oliver and Lady went down the track pulling trains all day. Oliver was still young and he was excited. He sometimes caused accidents, but still he was still useful. One day, the manager came to see Oliver and Lady. Alright then, Lady, I want you to help shunting trucks in the yard, and Oliver, I want you to take a heavy goods train. Yes, sir. Good. And this goods train has to be delivered to the mainland, but in 3 days, so don't mess up. Don't worry, sir, I'll be alright. And the manager left. Remember what I said, Oliver, trucks could be very troublesome. I know, Lady. Don't remind me of what happened last time. I do not want to remember that. Okay then, well, good luck. And Lady set off to the mine. Oliver came to collect some trucks. Come on, you trucks, I want no nonsense. And Oliver set off to the mines. When suddenly, Oliver felt his wheels going on. Oliver's wheels slipped on the rails. And with that, Oliver came to a stop. Oliver was cross. Driver, what was that for? You forgot your brake van again, Oliver. Brake vans, they're such a nuisance. Oliver thinks brake vans were beneath him and he thought he didn't need one. Oliver coupled up to a brake van and he was ready. Oh, come on, we're gonna be late. And Oliver set off. Soon, Oliver reached the mines. He put his train into a siding. Oliver was uncoupled from his train and parked into a siding. Ah, finally, the time for a rest. Soon, one by one, the trucks were slowly being filled with stone. Lady came to collect the trucks. Then Lady set off, taking Oliver's only brake van. Then soon, Oliver's train was ready. Oliver came up and coupled up to his train. Perfect, and I'm on time too. He waited and waited. But there was no whistle. Oliver was cross. Oliver blew his whistle several times, but there was no whistle back. Oh, I'm gonna be late. Where the fuck is the brake van at? That's strange. Where's the brake van? We're gonna be late. Can we just go? Should we go without the brake van? It won't hurt to take one brake van out. Besides, what could go wrong? Then Oliver set off with no brake van. But little did they know that the points were set wrong. And without the guard telling them which track they should be on, they were set onto the wrong track and head towards the old station. The driver was worried. Are you sure it's a good idea? It's illegal to go without a brake van. Don't worry, you'll be alright. Instead, they found an unknown territory. Disaster lay ahead! Oh! Luckily, no one was hurt, but Oliver was off the rails. Soon, the controller came to see Oliver. It wasn't Oliver's fault. I am aware of that. But still, why did you go without a brake van? It was Lady's fault. She took my only brake van. Really? I thought there was a brake van in the quarry. There was no brake van. We tried to look for one, but we couldn't find one. It's because he's painted gray, so it makes it hard for him to see. Well then, I'm just glad you're alright. And the controller left. You know, Oliver, you should have been more careful. Well, this won't happen if you took my brake van. But I swear, I thought Toad was there at the yards. Oliver was confused. Who is Toad? Oh, Toad, you haven't met him yet. He's one of the brake vans and he's real nice. Sometimes it's hard to see him when he's in a quarry or a mine because he's painted gray. He is very nice. Oliver wanted to know who this Toad was. Then tomorrow, can I look for this Toad and see if he could help me out? I'd love to. Good, it's so then. The next day, Oliver came with some trucks to take back to the mainland. He was uncoupled and set off to the sidings. Oliver went into the siding and he was about to have a rest when he heard something. Hello? Is anyone there? Oliver heard the sound too. He looked everywhere, but he couldn't find anyone here. Hello? Is anyone there? Hi there. Oliver heard the voice again. This must be this Toad thing and Lady told me about. Oliver heard the sound coming right next to the breakdown train. Oliver went off and came to the other side and he found what he was looking for. In a siding was a Toad brake van. Hi there. Oh, hello. You must be Mr. Oliver, is that right? Wait, you know my name? Yes, Mrs. Lady always told me stories about you. Well, it's good to meet you at last. So, are you looking for a brake van? Cause I could be a good use. Yes, definitely. Oliver coupled up to Toad, and he set off. Oliver coupled up Toad to his train, then soon Oliver was ready. And with that, Oliver set off. Oliver was rushing down the line. Oliver was having a great time. Fastest as we can! But Toad didn't like going fast. Mr. Oliver, you think it's good to go this fast? Of course, Toad. Being fast makes the work go done faster. But Mr. Oliver, if we go fast, you will crash. Oliver thought what Toad said. If he kept going fast, he'll definitely get into the crash. And he didn't want to get in trouble again with the controller. So Oliver slowed down. This made Toad very happy. See, Mr. Oliver, just take it slow and take your time, and you'll go far. Soon Oliver approached the hill. Oliver charged up the hill. They were going closer to the top. Toad noticed he wasn't slowing down. Mr. Oliver, we need to go slow down when we get to the top. Don't worry, Toad. When we go down the hill, it'll be much faster and we get there much quicker. Yeah, Oliver, but when you go down the hill, you might crash. Oliver, hearing Toad, he began to slow down. Soon they were going up the hill slowly. Soon they made it to the top of the hill. Oliver came to the stop. See, Mr. Oliver? If you just take your time, you may get there on time. Thanks, Toad. But as Oliver started, the coupling between Oliver and the truck snapped. Toad! The train! Stop the train! Mr. Oliver! The guard in Toad slammed on the brakes hard on. Toad's brakes squealed hard. They got to the bottom of the hill, and they came to a stop. Oliver came rushing down the hill. He got to the bottom and coupled back onto his train. Geez, Toad, you were the one going fast. I thought you said to take it easy. Toad laughed at the joke while he was still surprised. Alright, Toad, come on, let's get this train moving again. They got to the hill and rushed down the hill. Soon, Oliver and Toad reached the station just in time. There you go. If you just take your time, it will be much easier to do your job. Soon, the manager came. Congratulations, Oliver. We managed to get the load on time, even early, in fact. Yes, sir. No problem, sir. Looks like finally you're starting to mature. Keep on with the good work. Yes, sir. I will, sir. Well done, Oliver. You managed to do it without even causing an accident. Well, lady, I could have done it without Toad. Any time to help, Mr. Oliver. You know, Toad, we work together well. Do you want to be friends? I will love to do that. Good, it's so then. Since that day, Oliver and Toad have been good friends ever since. Oliver takes Toad everywhere, on passenger trains and goods trains. Oliver and Toad are happy to be friends. And no matter what happens, no matter how far they apart, Oliver and Toad will always be best friends.
The shits never end. You can't touch my riches. Even if you had MC Hammer and them 357 bitches. Biggie Smalls, the millionaire, the mansion, the yacht, the two weed spots, the two hot blocks. That's how I got the weed spot. I shot Dre.